looked at me and she told me her head was hurting very, very badly. I looked at her eyes. They looked like nothing I have ever seen before or since. I took her fever. It was 104.2. I called my doctor. He told me to give her Tylenol. I gave her Tylenol. She projectile vomited. I called him back. He said, go to the drugstore and get Feverol suppositories for her. I stuck her into the car. The drugstore was like about 5 minutes away from our house. We get there, she couldn't even walk. I had to put my 5-year-old daughter in a cart and push her through CBS. She was projectile vomiting the whole time. When we got home, I rechecked her fever, and it was now 105.7. I called my doctor back, and he told me, this is from the vaccines. Once we inject them, we cannot take them out. There's nothing you can do. He said, give her the Feverol suppositories to get her fever down and make sure she stays hydrated. So I put her to bed. I gave her the suppositories. I slept by her bed. Every 15 minutes I gave her sips of water, tablespoonfuls at a time, and kept her hydrated. Her fever, it came down. I mean, it didn't break, but it came down to about 102. My doctor was comfortable with that. She lasted 3 days in bed before she could get up and walk again. Once she was able to walk around, I took her back to the doctor, and she was given another examination, and this time she failed her vision screening. So we went to the eye doctor who diagnosed her as legally blind. My doctor told me that he had called VAERS twice, and they did not return his phone call. So he said to me at that point, he said, if they're not returning my phone calls, he said, how many other cases are going unreported? So Jade is a definite vaccine injury. I was in the medical field. I very much wanted to be a doctor. I very much wanted to believe she was 1 in a million. So when I had my son after her, I told my doctor I still wanted to vaccinate. And he told me I didn't have to do that. And I said, why would I not? Vaccines protect against diseases. Why would I not want him protected? She's 1 in a million. My doctor told me he would only give him 1 shot at a time because we didn't know which shot she had the reaction to. So Zane, my son, got his DTaP at 3 months old instead of 2 because he had gotten another one at 2 months old. He got that on a Monday. By Friday, he was hospitalized with whooping cough. After that, my doctor said, I refuse to vaccinate your children anymore. I'm not doing it. So, I mean, Jade's here. She can tell you what that experience was like for her because.
Do you remember that at all?
I remember some parts of it, not all, because I'm so young.
What parts of it do you remember?
I remember the pain, I remember the vomiting, and I remember having to sleep on the couch because I couldn't go up the stairs, stuff like that.
And so your mom said that you actually go and talk to senators now. What do you talk to them about, and why is that important to you?
I talk to them about my story mostly. It's important to me because the thing I want most is to help other people, to educate others, just in case something like what happened to me would happen to them, or
And a lot of people believe, I mean, you guys know, a lot of people believe that this isn't a real thing, that vaccines don't cause these things. But you're living proof, is that kind of your message, that it does happen?
Definitely.
What do the senators say in response?
They are mostly awestruck, honestly.
So you're legally blind, considered legally blind. Can you talk to me a little bit about that, just kind of the challenges that's brought for you?
They're not really challenges since I have contacts, but it is a pain to put them in every morning and to wash them, and you can't walk around without them, you always have to be wearing them.
She literally can't see in front of her face without her contacts.
And it wasn't like this before the vaccine.
She was perfect.
She just fine.
She was perfect.
How is your son now? Did the same thing happen to him? Is he also legally blind?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
he just had the whooping cough?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your message to other parents? Is it the same as hers, that you need to do more research?
Yeah, and I would say, getting more into the research aspect, I would say get the vaccine inserts, not the paper the doctor gives you, the inserts that come in with the vaccines, and read that whole thing. Read the side effects, read the reactions, take those ingredients that are on that sheet and research them, and look at how they interact in the human body. And after you're finished with that, research these diseases. And then you weigh your pros with your cons, and you decide which is more scary for you.
And so I found it interesting that before this happened, both of you were very pro-vaccine.
Yes.
You didn't want to be anti-vaccine.
No. I don't think any of us would choose this life. I mean,
God, no.
This is awful. We're scrutinized at every turn. We wouldn't choose to speak out against this if this didn't happen to us. I mean, we'd much rather be on the other side of this saying you guys are crazy than to be living this. This is terrible. I mean, we formed the group PAMFA, which is Pennsylvania Medical Freedom Alliance. We came together with a lot of other causes who are also fighting for medical freedom, from medical cannabis to oral chemotherapy, and we've all come together for this same movement. It's not just about vaccines. It's about medical freedom for everything, for everybody.
Now, I'm pretty new to Pennsylvania. I don't know exactly how it works. If your kids aren't vaccinated, can they still go to public school? How does that work?
Yes,
Okay.
they can. Pennsylvania has all three exemptions. They have medical, philosophical, and religious.
Okay.
So yes, they can. And what's interesting about that is that even though Jade is eligible for a medical exemption because of what happened, my 4-year-old is not. So I don't think that's fair, with our family history, that my 4-year-old would not be medically exempt. If they were to take away our other exemptions, I don't know what I would do other than move, because 2 of my children had reactions. I would not do that to my 3rd. And Jade worries about that as well, for when she grows up and has children. It takes an injury in order to get a medical exemption. And I think that is completely insane. If they were to do testing, some kind of genetic testing or some kind of testing before vaccinating to make sure that you're not going to react, I would feel differently about this whole issue. But they do not. Vaccines come in a one-size-fits-all category. That's it. An 8-pound baby gets the same dose of vaccine as a 200-pound man. No other medicine is prescribed that way. And there's not safety standards on vaccines. The safety standards are so low. They are not tested like other medications are. If they had been, they would not have passed. I mean, it's crazy what they're doing. There needs to be better safety standards. There needs to be, if they're going to mandate things, then I say the state needs to also step up and do the genetic testing first.
And is this something you're pushing for as well when you go and talk to these lawmakers? Is that what you tell them?
Of course.
Do you ever feel personally any pushback from the community when people find out, what happened to you? No? Okay. But you feel it, I'm sure.
I feel it. I feel it. And that's something. Jade wants to do this. Jade wants to speak out. This is for Jade. Everything that I do with PAMFA, with speaking out about vaccines to everybody I speak to, is about her. It's about what she wants to do. She wants to save other kids. That's her goal. She wants to be a voice for kids who have lost their voice. The autistic kids, the kids who can't speak anymore. She wants to stand up for them.
True. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add?
I don't know.
Vaxxed.
Vaxxed. Come to Vaxxed in Harrisburg, September 26th. Okay. Del Big Tree will be there.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.